Hi, welcome to Social Research Insights. This is in fact one of the series of presentations on my video cast related to Linux Bash shell for programming or programming through Linux Bash shell. This is the very first video cast in which I am going to explain how to assign numbers to some certain variables and print them in the Linux terminal or Linux shell. Let me tell you one important thing why I am interested in this type of stuff. I usually write a lot of code related to data analytics and Internet of Things, and recently I met with some certain need where I got to simulate some sensory based data while working through Arduino and Python. So I have my other videos. If you are interested, you can just go through my other playlists where I have quite a few videos related to sensor data analysis. The main aim of this video is to show you how to create variables and assign some values to those variables and print them in the Linux shell. But before going to that action, let me show you some utility functions as how to move around different directories in the shell. You can just access the Linux terminal by simply clicking or pressing the combination of Control Shift T, just like this. So you'll have another terminal, but let me close this. I think I disturbed my so let me explain you few utility functions and their purpose and how they help us in order to do some little activities in Linux terminal or shell. So the very first thing which you would like to, or I would like to tell you, or you should know, is the present working directory, the short form of which is going to be PWD. So you just have to press PWD in order to know the present working directory. So you can see the address or the path of my present working directory. I'm in the root, I'm in my user directory, which is the subdirectory of a directory called home, and which is again a subdirectory under root directory. So this is root, this is subdirectory, and this is other subdirectory within I should say that it is subdirectory. Okay, anyway, so this is the first statement or command which every Linux user, especially people who are working through this Linux terminal, should know. Now the other important statement or command that the Linux user should know is the change directory. Now I'm going to do a small activity. I will use this command in order to move to and forth in between the directories. First I go to the root directory. From there I will see what are all the directories that are existing in my root directory. If I want to know the list of the directories that which are there under this root directory, I should use a simple statement or command called ls. So you please don't ask me what is the full form of this. Maybe perhaps I don't know, it might stand for a word list. So I'm indirectly telling the Linux shell list out all the directories and other stuff, files and images, any other stuff that exists in my root directory. So if I want to know that list of the files that are there in my root directory, I just have to press ls and press return. So now these are some of the folders or directories that are there in my root directory. Now I should go to a directory called home. I think you can find somewhere here. So this is my home, where usually I keep my almost all my user, where I do my user activity and also save my user data. So for that, cd home. Now we are in home. I'm in my home directory. Now let me list out. I have two directories under this home: HD user, which usually I go to this HD user whenever I would like or feel to do some work related to big data analytics. Like I installed the Hadoop software in my computer, and for that I created another user, HD user. Whenever I feel to do some work related to Hadoop or big data analytics, since I'm a data analyst, I mostly will be dealing with the analysis of data by using Hadoop. So then I just go to HD user, something like this. Now I want to, for this video, I would like to go to my user directory, which is hi, cd hi. Now let me list out. So these are some of the files I have in my user directory, the name of which is hi. Okay, now since I'm going to describe how to assign values to some certain variables, so let me clean my shell. For that I should execute a command called clear to clear the shell. So now I'm going to create a small directory for my user work, especially related to this bash shell scripting. For that I choose a name called my shell scripts. Okay, for that I have another utility function, or I should say the command, that is make dir. But the problem with this command is that I'm just going to affect the file system. For that I possibly may not be able to create a directory by simply issuing the command. For that I need some super user privileges. In order to ask for super user privileges, I should use another command called sudo super user do. Now make directory, I will give the name of my directory my shell scripts. Okay, let me see. Yes. So if the terminal is silent without throwing the error, any information, it simply means that we had executed our statement without errors. Now let me list. Sorry, I should go back to the. So what is that directory? Yeah, I have my shell scripts. So let me go to this directory by using the utility function cd change directory my shell scripts. And now let me see what is there in that. I literally have nothing, because it is a new directory. We just had created this in order to do our user stuff. Now I'm going to create a small shell script. Here I have to stop and tell you one important, very important secret. And the secret goes like this. Whenever we thought of creating some script, and we should create that, we should write that shell level programs in files that ends with a format called .sh. Okay, now there are two ways of executing the program. I can simply carry on my work as it is, to write the programs within the just after the prompt. This is a prompt. Wherever you encounter the dollar string or the symbol, so the place just immediately after that is the place where we write the programs. Suppose if I wish to carry on my work, I can just continue to write the programs as it is, as remaining in this shell. That is called interactive mode. This is the very first mode, the type of executing the program. But whereas this is very much useful for the people who would like to check the commands But at times we might be interested to write the program just like as it is, as in the form of a program, where we'll be having a set of commands, and all those commands might be having a common goal to be accomplished. So if that is the purpose of shell scripting, then possibly it is better to create a file and assign this file format, as I said, .sh, and then carry on. So I'm just going to tell you how to create that file. Now we have another wonderful function called touch. Okay, sudo touch touch. Let me create, so as I said, the idea of this video cast is to show you how to assign the values to the variables. Okay, my intention is to just carry on these tutorials in order to, by the end of these tutorials, you must be able to know how to deal with data analytics with the help of shell scripts. Now touch, let me give some name, var demo.sh. this is what I was telling you. So don't forget to put this file format .sh, otherwise Linux will not understand that this is shell script. Now press enter. Let me see if my newly created file exists in my directory my shell scripts or not. Yes, it is there. Now let me open this file to carry on my programming. To open this file, I have another command called sudo. For everything we need to have sudo, because I'm in my user high, I'm not in the root directory. So since I'm executing all these commands from my user directory, I need to ask for super user privileges in Linux shell. Sudo, and you can use nano, a wonderful text editor. You can also use vi, another wonderful text editor. Linux is a place where you have lots and lots of software which is absolutely free. So that gives a lot of satisfaction to both users and programmers. But anyway, that is a different discussion. Excuse me. So here I'm going to open this file. I like an application software called gedit. So I need not write entire word. I just have to press tab. So the Linux will take care of rest of the other part of the word. And now I just have to supply the name of the file, var. Again, I don't write entire, I just have to press the tab, so that Linux will take care of filling up the remaining part of the file name. Now press enter. This is the text editor. Most of the time I do deal with, but different people use different text editors. That all depends on their aptitude. But I like this because this furnishes a beautiful color code when we progress ahead writing programs. One another important thing which you need to remember while writing the shell scripts is that in every shell script we just have to put a statement that is imperative, like we cannot escape with. So that statement goes like this: hash apostrophe, next bin bash. So okay, so this is actually, I'm just telling the Linux shell that the bash libraries are there in my bin directory. So when you are executing this file, please take the path from this particular address. Now, as I said, I'm going to demonstrate or show you how to assign the values to some certain variables. And in this case, I'm just going to use two variables. That is, x is one variable where I assign a value 5. The other variable is going to be y, and I assign another value 5. This time let me change the value. Now I just want to print these two values. So for that we have a beautiful command called echo. Now when I'm printing, when I would like to see what is there in these two variables, x comma y, then since I am putting numbers in these two variables in bash as per the bash discipline or Linux shell discipline, we have to call that value by just assigning the dollar symbol. So echo x and echo y. So I don't know, I'm just, so let me see whether I'm able to print these two values in my Linux terminal or not by executing. So just you save this file now for time being and go back to the terminal. Just let me clear because my terminal is flimsy. And okay, now let's see. Yeah, we have that. So now stop and listen to me carefully. We are now ready to execute the file. So again, we need to follow the discipline of Linux shell. So to execute this file, I just have to put full stop, a dot, / then name of the file. I think I'm not able to var demo. My god, something wrong, I think. Yeah, permission delete. Sudo .s var. Again, there is something wrong. Okay, no problem. I have other idea. Command not found. Very good. So if this is the this is actually the problem, but there is a solution. The Linux telling us that telling me that I don't have sufficient permissions to execute this file. If that is the situation, then we have to give permissions to, or we have to request permissions to execute this file. For that we have a function called change mode. I'll just change mode. Yeah, now I want to request the execution privileges and var demo sh operation not. Okay, no problem. I still have another idea. Yes, now let us, yes, now the color of the file, you see here the color is different. You see the color of the file getting changed to the other color. Now let's go ahead. Where, yes, exactly, my tab function is working. Now press yeah. So you already know that we had assigned these two values to two different variables. I assigned the value 5 to the variable x. I assigned value 6 to the variable y. Now I told the I told the bash to return me these two values soon after I finish executing this file. So Linux does exactly the same way. Okay, so you can also go back and customize your code. I'll just tweak my code a little bit further by simply writing a few commands so that the code is a bit let me go back to the file. Let us sudo gedit. My god, what's happening? Right, var demo sh. So here I'll just put my first value, my first variable value is, leave some space x. Now take me to the other line, echo my second variable value is, I just gave space in order to save. Close the file. Let me flush my shell. And now now we are ready to execute the file. ls, this is still okay. Var demo sh. Yeah, exactly. So my first variable value is, I don't want that comma, right? Yeah, so unfortunately I gave some comma operator there. I don't want this comma. I just put the value without a space. Okay, now let me see whether what's going to happen to my code. So dot / var mod, yes, my first variable value is 5, my second variable value is 6. So this way we can just assign the values to some of the variables in bash scripts and execute those scripts very simply in Linux terminal. Okay, so I taught you how to use some utility functions and also assign the values to some predetermined variables in Linux shell or bash script or Linux terminal. I'm sorry, they write the codes in the shell script and execute them in the Linux terminal, which is installed in Ubuntu 16.04. okay, so if you like my video, press like and subscribe to my video channel and stay tuned for the new content. Thank you.